Okay, so start with the bulkhead connectors. These are N bulkhead connectors to take your wiring through the bulkhead. This one's going to be 31 pin ignition coils, fuel injectors, starter motor feed, alternator switch, and a few more bits and earths. And then we've got this one, which is going to be a 61 pin. This can be all for the sensors, the cam, crank, fuel pressure, fuel temperature, oil temperature, supply voltages for the connectors and so on. And then this is the chart for the ECU side of connectors. I've got connector A, connector B, and so on. And these are all the connectors, the pins and splices and so on for the wiring loom. Start with connectors. These are the connectors for the ignition coils, and also one is going to be for the cam sensor. These are for the fuel injectors, the green ones. Blue on there is going to be for intake flaps. This one here is oil pressure or temperature. This one here is crank sensor, and this one here is map sensor. So this one here is called temp sensor. Got a couple of these, just to be sure. There's a pin for that. This is the pins that are going to be used to power the injectors and coils for the PDM. There's some Deutsch Connect gold pins. These are going to be splices. So the ECU has only got one output for each coil. However, these engines use twin spark system, so now they're going to be sparking at the same time. So I'm going to feed one wire from the ECU into here, and then two wires from this into each coil. These are the pins for the coils, connector pins, some splices, cam sensor, crank sensor, and then these are the pins for the ECU. And then some of these ring terminal crimp connectors for earths and so on. I will put in the link where I'll get all this stuff from, guys, but most of these was from a company called 3A Components. Very nice to deal with, send the next day, absolutely fantastic. And then these other sensors would have for them as well. And what else is it? Yeah, and the splices from another company I'll put up on the screen now. And yeah, so this is pretty much the connectors and pins and so on. Here's the wiring. So it's all raychem 55 wire. So I'm going to be using blue for sensors, red for sensor provide fault supply, and then white for some other sensors. This is my cam and crank wire, which is signal protected. These are the pins for the amplifier connectors, the Deutsch pins, and then some more wire for the ignition coil feed signal and so on. In here is some heat shrink tubing, which is a raychem SCL and ATUM heat shrink. And then what I've done is I've got each wire length, and I've made a mock-up of it. So this one here, for instance, offside bank injectors, cylinder 1, 2, 3 and 4. So that's how long I would do the wiring for that side of the injector. So that's just a mock-up loom. Everything will be made from the raychem 55 wire. Then I've got a little vise which I'll set up here. That will be where the connectors go, and then I'll start from the middle out. Let's not forget about tooling, very important. So little adjustable vise there to pull the connectors in when I'm pinning them. Milky heat gun for the heat shrink, very handy. A tape measure for cutting the wire lengths, some cable ties, glasses, need those. And then nice set of flush cutters. These are the crimp tool for the open barrels. A nice set of wire strippers. Probably the most important tool here, the Deutsch DT and DTM crimp tool. So you can adjust it for the wire gauge, depending on what thickness wire you want to use in each pin. And then it just crimps the pins nicely. And then it's got two adjusters on it. One is for the DT and one for the DTM connectors. Might be using a DTP here. It's too big. Don't need it. Okay, so start to mock up these wires now. This is the mock-up wire for the offside bank coils 1, 2, 3 and 4. So this is the mock-up wire we're going to cut to length. I've got the raychem 55 wire, so you're ready to go. This is going to be the power 12-volt feed coming from the PDM spliced out to each coil, and I've got 18 gauge British ECU trigger. 2 of those we're going to 1E16 gauge, which actually got connectivity, closed barrel splices. I put the part number in the link, guys, but these are much better than the open barrel ones. And then I'll just put them into these Wi-Fi crimpers. They're going to about number, I think it's that one there, and it will crimp them down nicely. You can see that there, guys. Okay, so there is the crimp. I will crimp it again at the edge, but if you can see there, so they can see the other bit of wire sticking out, and then the same that side, you can see both of them sticking out. Then if I give a good tug, that's not going nowhere, it's protected. And that, it's already shrunk down. Isn't that lovely? Okay, first 2 pins in. These are for ignition coils on the offside bank. Got 2 more to go. So this is the insertion tool we use. It comes with the kit already crimped on with those crimpers. Nice quick crimp. So just do that, and then it just sits on the little shoulder of the pin there as you put it in. Okay, so this is ABC. So ABC is that one there, hopefully. Fingers crossed, we're just double checking. Yes, now unfortunately you can't hear it click. Well, I can't hear him click anyway when it goes in. So I'm just going all the way, taking it all out, giving it a tug. Let's just check that seat all the way. Take it off. Yeah. So there you go, there's the 3 I've done so far. Okay, so that's the ignition coil loom kind of in position. Just trying to figure out now which wire goes to each cylinder. So I've got the multimeter out, just checking which wires are which. So this is going on to number pin E, which is cylinder 5, which is the near side bank. If I just do like that, get one of these wires, hopefully we should get a buzz. Yep, so these 3 wires, 2 signal, 1 12-volt feed. We're going to cylinder 5 on the near side bank. Let's get these jotted down so we don't lose which one they are. So we'll mark them with a bit of tape before we put a heat shrink on. But yeah, going well. Next will be the injector looms. Okay, so the injector and coil loom is ready. Going to take it out to the car in a minute to cut all the wire to length for each side of the bank. One little thing though, I didn't make a slight mistake with the pin outs for the cylinders. I've corrected that now, so that's all the pin outs coming from the connector. So the injector power will be spliced this side of the connector, which is the engine side, and the power for the coils will be spliced inside the car, closer to PDM. They need more voltage, more amperage, so I feel that there'd be more for the wire, more area for electricity to flow through the wires if we do it like that, which makes sense to me. Okay, that's all the wires cut to length. 5, 6, 7, 8, all cut to length. And also cylinders 1, 2, 3, 4 for the cores and injectors. All right, back to the shed, guys. Let's get it sheathed up, and then we can carry on. Okay, so that's cylinder 8 done for the injector. So just put a label on it saying injection and cylinder 8. It's got to put the connector on, pin it on, that'll be on there, then the sealing bit will go over that. That's all good. Okay, that's the first bunch point sheathed, ready to be ready for connectors to be put on the ends. It's going to go to the car, make sure it all sort of fits up okay, but every branch off is labelled, so coils and injectors and so on. So the injectors will be using these little boots, and then the coils will be using some SCL heat shrink, so ATM heat shrink, semi-rigid. Right, there's the completed loom for the engine bay side for the coils and injectors and so on. And then this is the interior side, will be going to the ECU. which are these wires here. There's the signal wires for the injectors and the coils, and then the red wires coming out, and the white wires here coming out will go to the PDM, which will power the coils, the injectors, the cam sensor, and the air intake flaps. Okay, there's the back of the connector there going to the bulkhead, what it looks like. Obviously that'll be screwed down when it's all ready to go. And then the ECU loom is actually nice and long enough. So you see we'll stay about there somewhere. Might reposition it a little bit, but about there we go. Then the PDM loom for the powers that goes down, around, and into the PDM itself. So okay, it's time to start the last loom now. This is the engine bay side loom for the sensors. I've already got the cam, crank and knock sensor into the only cam and crank sensors into the connection at the moment. So we've got the wires. This is all the sensor wires. This is the oxygen sensor wires, and then we've got throttle body. So original Mercedes throttle body. I said I have to get the original Mercedes colours to make it a bit easier. Okay, so let's get our wiring diagram out and check what is going to go in first to last. I imagine knock sensors are going to probably go first, but they actually will go first, which is fine. So we'll just get to the right page of our diagrams. Almost made a boo-boo there. Obviously I can't put this in yet because this won't fit for the heat shrink, so I think I'll do that last. Actually, no, I'll put the heat shrink on now actually. Okay, silly me, almost made a mistake there. Almost, that was lucky. Let's get the heat shrink on first. Okay, that should be cool. Just check that out. So that's going to go right past. I mean, that's the way the boot goes anyway. So I'll just measure that up. That is good. Okay, let's get all these into the heat shrink. Get that back up this way a little bit, and then that's going to go probably to about there. Analog 14, and on this connector that is pin U. With your thumb in the tool, it tends to go in quite easy. If you sort of let it slack off a little bit, it's not as easy going in. You feel that second push on one wire. Now what I do is give it a tug test. So again, this is the inserter tool. So this is the extraction tool. Both the inserter tools are broke, but this seems to insert fine as well, which are happy days on that one. So pin A is a 12 volt feeder, which is going to be red. Hopefully. Red, blue, 12 volt feed, red, blue. To the red, and the brown is the ground. Okay. Brown is ground. Makes sense. Okay, so this one is pin A, 12 volt feed, pin A, which is right at the top of the connector here. Again, just give it a push in, make sure it's in. Good, good, good. And then the last one, pin.
Whenever I hear goodbyes, reminds me, baby, of you. I break down and cry. Next time I'll be true, yeah. Fever for lost romance reminds me.
Okay, so let's get these pinned in to connector C. So these are the throttle wires for the throttle valve. Let's get these pinned into the connector. So the first one is yellow wire, which is C18 analog 2 throttle body import. So C18 is there. Okay, let's get a pin. I think from this side we'll pin it. C18, just confirm that. C18 analog 2. Put the ears back down again. I think that is C6. I think that is pin connector C populated now. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that is C6 done. Okay, it's time to get these final bits pinned in. The wiring loom is now complete, ready to go in the car. But before we do that, we're going to get out the multimeter and we're going to do a continuity check. So make sure all the wires go to where they should, from the ECU to each connector that goes onto the engine. So we'll connect them together, get the multimeter working and make sure it's all good.